Yo guys, what's going on? I am Tim. This is the Cash Gun AC Sports Report. We have Nate here helping us with the college football coverage. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, Tim. LSU over Bama's 9-6. What a slow and low-scoring game we got here. I mean, the Flyers game scored more than them practically.
Yeah, I know. This was basically the opposite of last week's Stanford and USC game and all that pregame game of the century talk. You can't. That's why you don't call something the game of the century until the game is actually played. It wasn't a bad game. I prefer more scoring, and that's not exactly what we got today. You want to go into your recap?
Yeah, I'm going there. We started off Marcus Mays, 26-yard return from the kickoff to start off the game. He's getting in LSU's face real quick. Both teams were evenly matched from the start. I mean, just defensively and offensively, they couldn't make ground on each other to save each other's losses. Cade Foster, man, he just did not start off right at all. Missing 2 long field goals and then having 1 blocked by Eric Reed. That's another guy that had a big night. Eric Reed, he had an interception and a blocked field goal.
Yeah, but, about that interception, what did you think about the interception?
I think the referees didn't look at that one enough. I mean, I hate when they take that kind of control into a game, and it's just, I mean, from what I saw, his elbow was down and he had possession.
Yeah.
Reed never actually had that ball until after the play was over.
Yeah, I thought he was down, and then they ripped the ball out, and I didn't understand why that wasn't at least reviewed. I don't know, but go back in your recap.
As I was saying, and then Foster finally got on target, making a 3-0 game, but just before the half, LSU's kicker, who won the game for them essentially tonight, Ailman, tied it up 3-3 going into the half. I mean, real nail biter there.
Yeah, I mean, 9-6 wasn't exactly what I was expecting, but it was a good game. It probably wasn't even as good as K-State versus Oklahoma State, and we'll get to that in a second. But do you like college football's overtime system, the way they have it set up, unlike the NFL, where you just get the ball wherever it's kicked off to, or you just get it and you have a shot at the 40, or do you like it more in the NFL style?
I like it more in the style they have in the NCAA, because in the NFL, you have that pretty much one score and done.
Yeah.
In the NCAA, you have this, you give one team a chance and you give the other team their chance.
Yeah, I think you could probably find a nice medium, and that would probably be the best part, or the best system. And I think we've covered that this game, it did not live up to the hype. It wasn't a bad game. A blowout would have been a bad game. This was a close game, but it was a slow game. Trent Richardson, he didn't have a bad game. He didn't blow anyone away, and essentially with them losing, took himself out of the Heisman race, and may have just made Andrew Luck the favorite to win the Heisman or at least he's in the driver's seat at this point.
Definitely, but I mean, you also got to look at Luck's game earlier today. I mean, he didn't look so hot in that first half. He throw an interception or two, and then his targeting was just off.
Yeah, I noticed that the last few weeks. I think he has a huge target on his back right now. It's basically a lock that he's going to be the #1 pick after the season ends. And I'm just looking at this picture of these Alabama fans sitting in the stands crying. Like, come on, you're on national TV, or at least you would assume, sitting in the first row at an LSU-Alabama game. Maybe you shouldn't cry because you're going to get caught on camera and get made fun of. I don't know, it seems pretty stupid to me to ever cry over sports. But all that being said, with that game, we'll look now towards the KSU and Oklahoma State game. Oklahoma State, the #3 team in the country, comes out and wins that one 52-45. I know you caught a little bit more of that game than I did. What did you think of that game?
I thought it was a great fought battle. I mean, there were just touchdown after touchdown. I mean, the complete opposite of the Alabama-LSU game. They just took control, and they were running and passing up and down the field. I thought that OSU and KSU both put up great fights, and KSU at the end there, 3rd and goal, just barely missing a pass and all that. I mean, it was so close, such a nail-biter. If any game was the game of the century, it should have been that game right there.
Yeah, and I thought that game was about on par with what happened between USC and Stanford last week. Look, the game of the century thing was a way for ESPN to get you to watch College Game Day and ABC to get you to watch the game tonight, or CBS, which I think everyone was going to do anyway. Number 1 versus number 2, you're going to get ratings. That was a good game. It didn't thrill me. I've seen better games. K-State versus Oklahoma State, that obviously was a very good game. There were a lot of good games on the college football schedule today. What do you see the top 5 as next week?
What I'm looking at is now that LSU won, they're definitely number 1, no doubt. I'm thinking Stanford's moving up to number 2 after a decisive win, taking control in the second half of that game. What I'm looking at is the fight for 4th place between Boise State and OSU right now. Because Boise State might not have the schedule strength, but man, does Kellen Moore look good. He may not go as early as Luck, but he's definitely going to go to a team next year, and he's going to be a great rookie quarterback in the NFL.
So who do you see ending up at number 3 there?
Number 3, I think Alabama's going to take that spot. They may have lost, but they lost to number 1. I mean...
Yeah, and they lost by 3 points. I actually felt in this game it was evenly matched, but if any team played better, I would have given the edge a little bit to Alabama. I wouldn't be shocked if Alabama would drop down to number 2. And I think in the end, it's very possible these two teams meet again in the SEC title game. And at that point, if Alabama beats LSU, it's going to be a crazy turn of events about who's going to be in the national title game. We will have to see what happens with that. For now, I'm Tim. He's Nate. This is a Cash Guy NAC Sports Report. We'll see you guys later.